Last night we had the fireworks. I live in this podunk town a little bit south of Denver called Parker, and it's an old Shoshone word meaning white Republicans. And all up and down my street, people were setting off fireworks from about 4:00 in the afternoon until 10:30 or 11 o'clock. So,
wow, that sounds fun.
It's fun for them. I unfortunately had to use that street to drive on at one point during the early evening, so I'm looking at all of these people looking at me like I'm a communist because I'm trying to drive on the street when they want to set off fireworks. It's a lovely thing that we do here in the suburbs. And
sounds like an explosive situation.
It was an explosive situation. A lot of lights. I mean, it was like the beginning of the wonderful world of Disney for about 3 hours in my neighborhood. And all these little kids were running around with sparklers in their bare feet while their parents chuckled indulgently because, hey, if he trips, he loses an eye. Who cares?
Right. Did they stay off your lawn?
Our country is free. Because they're white Republicans, obviously they don't read the papers, so they still think the country's free. And they're free. They're free because they can give their 4-year-old children sparklers and fireworks to blow their fingers off. Because we're free, goddammit. We don't need no stinking regulations. We don't. I'm just saying. However, don't try to vote in Georgia. All right, so that's all I'm saying. Anyway, so we have Neil Decosta, we have Sid Bishnu. Oh, by the way, I put my next two acts into the public portion of the chat, and sometimes I interrupt people while they're on stage if I think I have something that might help one of their jokes, or just if I'm bored and think that I can interrupt. Because it's my show. It's my show, and I'm not getting paid for this. So why not? Why not be self-indulgent, huh? It's an American's birthright. Sid, if you were half a man, you would have said that. She was so patriotic, she's completely self-indulgent. She's fat and lazy. You could go to this whole list of things that are so patriotic about the United States from an Indian's point of view. And don't get on my case for calling him an Indian. He's from India, okay, motherfuckers? He's not a Native American. He's from the subcontinent. Another thing you could say, she's so patriotic, she doesn't have any better sense of world geography than Christopher Columbus had. What's the capital of Nebraska? The answer to that in most of the schoolrooms of America is what is that? Nebraska is a state? What is that? What it is? They certainly are not going to know that it's Lincoln. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So Chuck, John, hey, Dublin's the capital of Ireland, right?
Yes.
Or that portion of Ireland is still
definitely
under Irish rule. Although I guess it's coming to an end, huh? Pretty soon. The last 6 counties.
Oh God, who knows? It's coming home eventually. We hope.
Yeah, well, it will come home. I used to do a whole bit about that when I was doing comedy the first time around. But how I think the Irish are probably the most patriotic people in the world because they believe getting those last 6 counties back is worth more than the lives of every man, woman, child living in them. But then I was doing comedy during the Troubles.
Yeah.
So, and I wasn't interested in getting laughs, as you could already tell from tonight.
We noticed.
No, I was always thinking, hey, you're not laughing? I'm the professional. You're the ones on trial here.
Right. Well, let's start the show.
Okay. I get it. I get what you're saying. You've been on my ass for several weeks now. It's just like letting me know that I'm not funny. And it's not news. It's not news. Everybody who's here knows I'm not funny. With the possible exception of myself. However, here I feel like Don Imus today. Why? Dead. Anyway, you know what Don Imus is, John, by any chance?
I don't, to be honest with you, but
Okay, Don Imus was a very famous disc jockey who started out really funny in the 60s. By the time he was dead, he was a reactionary asshole. He was the kind of guy who didn't like Trump because he was soft on Mexicans. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. And now he's dead, which is why my joke was so hilarious. But our first performer, I've just been conversing with him. He comes to us from Ireland, a country that I really love culturally. And I'm gonna have to tell you another joke that I did, but only in conversation, and got in trouble with the school I was trying to get a master's degree in fine arts from, but I'll tell you that later. Anyway, he's, is it Limerick? Is that the name of it?
From Limerick, living in Dublin.
Okay, from Limerick. And maybe he'll tell you a little bit about Limerick while he's on stage. Please put your hands together, those of you who are here, for John O'Keefe, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, John.
Yeah.
Yes,
How's
it's
it
3
going?
o'clock in the morning there. So that's
It
just
is.
this is what you gotta
So,
do to be Ian.
I saw a terrible sight today. Ugly. An Irish man wearing shorts.
Ooh.
It was like an Irish man wearing shorts is like a pig wearing knickers. It's cartoonish and grotesque.
Did
I
you
was looking
get
at him.
a
Sorry?
glimpse of his frosted Lucky Charms?
Absolutely. I was looking at this guy queued for a latte with his shorts in my face, and I was like, "Sir, the bottom half of you needs medication. That ankle is crippled with anxiety. Like your calf should be put down.
Hello.
Your shin is so white. I can see bone under bone. Like, I'm not sure if you need more milk or less milk, but you need some form of milk intervention because you're emanating pure dairy. Please, for the love of Jesus, wear some trousers. I think if I ever run for public office, I'll make that the core of my proposal. No more Irish male hairy legs disturbing the peace. We can't do much about the women. It's political.
I'm sorry, I like it.
I don't know what Gen X is. Do you guys know Gen X? Does that just sound like a superhero? Gen X. I always thought they were after millennials, who are technically known as Gen Y. Just sounds like a question. Gen, why did you leave? I can change. No, you can't, millennial. You can go to work and be unfulfilled. You thought you were special. I'm a millennial. We're the worst. We're the worst people who ever lived. Have you ever wondered if there were any kind cavemen? You know? So he was just like, look, I respect her decision. If she's not in the mood, I'll just rub her hairy feet. I'll rub her hairy back. Cave people were hairy. Yes, cave people. I'm updating the term to fit 2021 culture. I also want to apologize to the cave people of today for the microaggression of pointing out that they once were hairy. Why do people who sit under trees think they're better than everyone else? Do you ever see them under the tree looking at us? They're like, oh, I got shade. And I'm like, and you look stupid. Boom! Now you got shade. Under a tree. You don't have to prove that you're in college, asshole. No one wears a sweater like that without having to. They always have this smile, don't they? Like, behold my glorious tree where my skin does not burn so easily. I'm like, you're the worst person under that tree, for sure. People who seek out the shade under trees. Huge demographic, terrible people. I was in the park the other day. Animals do not respect boundaries, let me tell you. Every pigeon's a creep. I'm not a fan of those fat-necked fucks. Like, they were just like, you call that a mating dance? Why don't you just leave her alone? She said no. It's a pattern here. Just find a bush and sort yourself out, you disgusting bird. You're just being pathetic. And don't even get me started on those goddamn ducks. Bunch of perverts. Don't ever feed ducks, because you're just bringing bread to an orgy. They're fueling their lust with carbs. Every time a duck quacks, he's being a misogynist. I can tell. I can tell by his eyes.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite thing to do in parks is to watch boys.
You?
I should probably clarify. I just mean I find them fascinating because kids, boys want to destroy. Boys are little animals. There was a swan sitting on the lake and this boy wasn't having it. He picked up a pebble and screamed, "I'm going to hit him." And his mother was like, "No, Fenton, stop that. You need a bigger rock to really cause him some damage." And then she took out a series of rocks she brought with her from home. I was like, obviously she was a good mother. She was horrified Fenton wanted to hit the swan. I was horrified she called him Fenton. What kind of a stupid name is that? What's that short for? Fentanyl.
Yeah.
No wonder he's a psycho in the making. No, we don't do. She was looking at me and she was like, "No, Fenton, we don't do stuff like that. Making eye contact with me to prove she's a good mother." I was like, the fact she cares about my approval is a sign she can't be a good person. I mean, come on. If she had any sense, she'd tell Fenton to throw rocks at me. I deserve it. In case you're not clear, I obviously live in the park because most of my material is about ducks. Anyway, I think that's all from me. Thanks for having me, guys. Always a pleasure.
Oh, on the button.
I am.
5 minutes and 00 seconds.
That's Fenton, all she wrote.
That's fun and all she wrote. Yeah.
Sorry.
Sad that those ducks all suffered from the same malady.
Ah!
That quacked me up.
Oh, lads.
Just put it on my bill.
Uh-huh.
I can't keep up with the cat.
Hope I can fill the storm over this.
All right. So we're going to goose up the show now with a little something from a part of the world that you don't see every day unless you live there. And if you do,
Jesus.
and if you do, you see it every day unless you're blind. I can do this all night.
When did we get Joy Behar's writers?
Joy Behar doesn't have writers. Joy Behar has people who scratch jokes into the ground with a stick. She's a very good stand-up comedian in her day.
Yes, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
she was a very good stand-up comedian in her day. It was her. It was her. It was that guy from the rodeo who wrote the columns and then died in a plane crash. It was her and Will Rogers. They were the number 1 and 2 comedians at the same time during the interwar years. By interwar, I mean between the Spanish-American War and the First World War. And now she's on The View, which she must be sweating because, she's getting up there in years. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do a joke that I can't do. It's just not funny. All right, never mind. It doesn't matter. That's the important thing. It doesn't matter. I'm just here. I'm trying to make a living in Denver, Colorado, which is not easy if you are not a tech guy. If you are a liberal arts major in college, you can just stay away from Denver because there's nobody here who understands. What do you mean a book? You mean like a manual for how to run the computer at work? No, there were authors, James Joyce, and they just don't understand. Their eyes look at you across and okay, was any of them named Ford? Well, yeah, Ford Maddox Ford was an author. And what car did he invent? Oh, good, I'll kill you. I'll kill you all. I'm just saying, it's tough if you're interested in the arts and you live in Denver, because the arts are somebody making a bronze sculpture of a longhorn cow. You know what I mean? Steer, probably. Anyway, it's flattering to be called a steer, but it's better to have your balls back. That's all I'm saying. It's not all I'm saying, because I'm going to introduce this next guy. He's from India. I already said that before, but I went off on a tangent because things just piss me off sometimes. I'm sorry, Sid. I'm sorry you had to
That's
see
not
it.
right.
I'm sorry you had to see that, Sid, unless you're blind. And now we circle it back to how much of India you can see. Don't tell me I'm not a genius. Anyway, please welcome Sid Bishnu.
Hey, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mike. That was a nice introduction. I loved it. Okay.
Eventually, I got there.
All right. So America celebrated 4th of July, and yeah, happy belated 4th of July to everyone. And on the occasion of that, I have some American jokes, of course.
Oh, good.
Nice.
So
Better be ready for the heat coming back, though.
You know, America is the only country where they have a sport where they carry the ball in their hands and call it football.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty stupid, but I mean, not surprising because after all, they invented the game of spelling bee where Indians are winning. Yeah.
It's not even your alphabet.
America have stores that are dedicated to cereals. Like they have huge stores dedicated just to cereals. And yet they kill off their primary customers in schools. Yeah.
What are you going to do? We like our guns, Sid. We like our guns.
You know, Americans are obsessed with the African and Chinese population. You know, Wiz Khalifa even wrote a song about it. It's called Black and Yellow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Americans are obsessed with Indian food. Like they love Indian food. I have some American friends. They're obsessed with Indian food. And it's not so surprising because Indian food is oily, and you know, Americans and oils.
All right.
All right. Coming from America to my country of India, Indians are, for a lack of better word, obsessed with cows. You know, like we not only consider cows holy, we consider cows as our mother. We call the cow our mother. But it's weird to see your mother roaming around in a traffic signal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it would be.
And but she does a better job at controlling the traffic than the traffic lights. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cows are better at that. You know, as a kid, I never got the courage to take my girlfriend out in the parks, you know, for a date. Like, first of all, India is crowded. And secondly, you cannot take out your girl to a park for a date because there is always a cow roaming somewhere there. And and somehow I feel weird to kiss my girlfriend in front of my mother.
Ah, call back.
Mhm.
So last month was Pride Month, right? And it's a big thing. And I have a gay friend, and he came out. He came out like around 4 years back, and it was a big deal because in my group of friends, he was the first one to come out, and yeah, we really appreciated that. So one day, him and I were just taking a walk, and he called like someone was doing something, and he was angry. He called out, "Asshole!" So my question to him was, when gays call someone asshole, do they hate him or love him? Something to think about. You know, I wanted to try musical comedy for a long time, but performing live comedy shows from my bathroom was not an option. So I quit that. Yeah. And so I was in Singapore for my studies around a few years back, and so my design college had students from all over the world coming in, and there was this guy from Texas, and we became very close. So one day he calls me up and says, "Sid, my computer is not working. Do you think you can fix that?" I was like, did you just culturally appropriate me? Like, just because I'm from India doesn't mean I can fix your computer. I was so angry at him. I was just screaming at him. At the end of the phone call, I said, having said that, did you try turning it off and on again? And that's been my time, guys. Thank you so much for having me here. Back to
Hey.
Yeah.
Sid Bishnu, his musical comedy from the bathroom. You know, I try to set the bar a little higher than fart jokes, my friend. But then everybody laughed. So you're undercutting me as a host by finding them funny. And that's fine. You know, I don't need to be the funniest guy on the show. It happens that most weeks I am, but I'm not going for it. That's all I'm saying.
Fuck this.
I'm not going to- although I have seen some movies where you got a lot of nerve, Sid, talking about us and our guns and our shootings and stuff, because I've seen all these Indian movies where guys come in with guns to attack people. They have pistols. They're going to rob a bank. They're going to do everything, and then they break into song. How is that compatible? It's like do 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 taking the money, and then they go off and they find a woman that lives in the hinterland somewhere, and she hides the money for them, and she won't tell them without dancing and singing, and I don't know what the deal is. And you make what, about 70,000 movies every year in Bollywood?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. I mean, I don't even how do you do it. You just wake guys up, or do they sleep on cots at the studio? The stars, you just come on. It's 3 a.m. Time to go, Samir. Come on, let's move it.
The idea is not to focus on the story.
You have to do one thing about the Raj, another thing about living on a river and your youngest child being eaten by a crocodile and never getting over it. The musical version of the Nehru assassination. I don't know. Whatever it is, that's a day. That's a day in Bollywood. Sorry. It's just the way it is. I didn't say it was funny. I'm glad to notice that you agree with me. We like our cows here too. Only we do kind of a crazy thing, Sid. We eat them. It's crazy. We don't just, whatever. Anyway, the next performer.
Are you starting to beef with him?
I don't know, but I do feel a little sheepish about the whole.
He put his hook in his mouth.
Any way you can do the Take the Money song one more time before you bring up the next act?
You know what? I'll just do the DLD part. While Bruce is on stage. It doesn't matter. Bruce Lipsky is our next performer. He's here pretty often and always amuses me.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Clap a lot for Bruce Lipsky.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Boy, you're kind of making me feel old with some of the stuff you've been putting out tonight, Mike. And it's starting to affect me here. I just turned 65 years old. And, I looked in the mirror the other day. I looked like a rusted old 56 Buick. My body was totally out of alignment. Nothing could be buffed out. My rear end is making funny sounds. My hoses are leaking. And my ball joints have all dried up.
Oh, hello.
I said, I better get Mako. Mako says, oh, no, you better get Medicare. And I was at my doctor the other day, and I said, Doctor, I'm really sluggish in the morning. He said, I done all these diagnostic tests on you. He said, I want you to see a specialist at the Pep Boys. He said, go see Tony. He's AARP certified. But I'll tell you, it's tough when you get older. It used to be in my house, if I had a leak, I'd call my plumber. Now I call my urologist. And it's $50 cheaper. Back in the day when Mike and I used to live in New York City, we'd go to Studio 54. We'd get on the dance floor and go bust a move. I'm afraid to take my wife dancing now. And they bust a hip. When my wife says, let's go do the hustle, I'm afraid I'm going to pull a muscle.
Oh!
And then she said, let's get down tonight. I don't mind getting down, but how the hell am I going to get up? And back in the day, I was into photography. I was a big photography buff. I used to do a lot of developing the film with my Polaroid. Now that I'm 65, the only thing I'm developing are hemorrhoids.
Hello.
And I'm starting to forget things. I swear my foam mattress has a better memory than I do. It's hard. And I'm at the stage in my life where I change the batteries in my nose hair trimmer more often than doing that TV remote. And during COVID, I've watched a lot of TV. And this one is for Mike. I've gone from using Vitalis, now I'm using Cialis.
Hello.
Oh,
And as you get older, it's difficult. You got to stay in shape. So I started an exercise program, but I only exercise late at night, really late at night, between the hours of 3 and 5 in the morning. I'm running sprints from the bedroom to the bathroom. My wife calls it my fleet of pee. I guess the good news is I got my time down under 6 seconds. Unfortunately, I could only hold my pee for 4.2.
Oh, that's
My wife is a fitness nut. She takes goat yoga. Yeah, goat yoga. She finds it very therapeutic and relaxing, especially when the goat jumps on her back and licks her ears. I said, wait a second. When I tried that last week, you slapped me and threw me out of the bedroom. And now you're paying a goat to do it. She said, well, he's got great technique and fresher breath. I asked her, do they allow kids in the class? She says, no, they only use adult goats.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And before I met my wife, I dated a lot of women. I even dated a very famous TV weather person. No, Chuck, it wasn't Al Roker. But the first time we got into it was like a bad winter forecast. She was predicting 10 to 12. And all she got was 4.
Hello.
Man, was she angry. Now I know why they name hurricanes after women.
Ah.
During this pandemic, my wife has become obsessed with buying on Amazon. The packages are nonstop. We get so many packages that just rezoned my front porch as a loading dock. The post office just issued us our own zip code. You know, I got packages up to the ceiling in my porch. I said, I can't take this anymore. Every time I go to pull a box out, I feel something's going to fall down. It's like I'm playing a game of Jenga for giants. I'm constantly going from the first floor to the second floor and back down. My wife calls me her personal delivery monkey, her Amazon primate. My wife asked me, what would you like for your birthday? I want to get you something special. I said, how about a forklift? A weight belt, maybe a bigger house. She's got me really worried, my wife. She painted big yellow letters in my driveway, reserved for UPS. I think she's having an affair with the UPS guy. She's constantly bragging about how big his package is.
Hello.
And now she only wants backdoor delivery.
Woohoo.
There's certainly trouble in my fulfillment center lately.
Ah.
I know what Brown's doing for her, but what's he doing for me? This is making my family life miserable. The only smiles in my house now are the ones in the cardboard boxes. But we do love doing things together. Broadway shows, nice dinners, the UPS guy. Thank you, that's my time.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I don't know. You're the only guy I know who's ever complained about backdoor delivery from his wife. But anyway, that's great. It's what we do here in America. We build things up and then we tear them down, no matter what they are. Still, a lot of people think this is the greatest country in the world still. And our symbol, Chuck, we have a symbol in this country.
We do.
Yeah, we do. In this country. And it's Uncle Sam.
It's gonna
Tall,
be
skinny
America
guy.
versus the world.
It is us versus the world, isn't it?
America against Ireland and India.
Now, is that Uncle Sam or Uncle Samantha?
Right. Uncle Sam. And speaking of global proportions, we want to thank Round Robin Real Estate, known for plus size sales figures, for their terrific sponsorship of tonight's Round Robin. A round robin of jokes. The comedians may chime in with jokes on today's topic. And the topic today, Mike, is Uncle Sam jokes. So,
Oh, yeah.
Uncle Sam jokes. Mike, did you know that Uncle Sam is so woke?
How woke?
Mike, he gets up at 5 a.m. to take an organic pee.
Oh my God.
That one's for Bruce Lipsky.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
My favorite memory of Uncle Sam is when he was taken away by the police.
Why?
That's all I got. I'm sorry. I wish.
Right. My Uncle Sam is so broke.
How broke is he?
Man, he can't afford his own food stamps.
Ooh.
Parts of his Florida and Oklahoma have to panhandle.
Oh,
Okay, I'm sorry. That's a geography
you got
joke.
to start collecting more Texas.
Hello, Bruce Lipsky jumping in there. John O'Keefe, thanks for chiming in. If you've got more Uncle Sam jokes, we're glad to hear them.
I got one. I don't know why Americans love Uncle Sam when Uncle Ben is a far tastier proposition.
Right?
Oh,
Oh.
I shouldn't have said anything. I apologize.
Well, I'm glad you did. How about you, Sid?
I don't have anything about Uncle Sam, but have you seen the Indian uncles like with their paunch running on the beach in a Speedo? It's a thing to see that it's so traumatic, like nothing else matters, you know? That's why I don't care about terrorist attacks in India, because we see the worst at the Indian beaches. Our Indian uncles are the worst, just the worst. Yeah.
Right. So what you're saying is COVID upon your Indian uncles.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want a breather from all that sausage. Neil Decosta, good to see you. Chime in if you've got something. And I know you're coming up. You'll be performing soon. And then Bruce Lipsky, if you've got Uncle Sam jokes,
Yeah,
I'd love to hear them.
No problem. I'll let Neil go first. No worries.
I hear Uncle Sam was a real meat packer. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go on, go on. Please go on.
We'll go save your meat packing joke. Pack that meat packing joke on ice for a second there, John
Oh,
O'Keefe.
sorry.
And
Okay.
we'll have Neil Decosta. Fire away, my friend.
A lot of people tell me that you should respect the dead. I'm just waiting for the day when I can respect Uncle Sam.
Hello.
You know,
That hurts. That's my country.
I feel so bad
Well,
about
we've done that to so many people, you know. Who are we?
I feel so bad about that. I almost want to lift my knee from your neck.
Mike Langworthy there with the charm. John O'Keefe, how are you?
Good, thanks. So I read the real Uncle Sam was a meat packer.
He was.
And he also liked dick. I know, right? They weren't good tonight. I'm sorry. I struggle with these.
Yeah.
Well, all right. It's okay.
You know,
Well, speaking of Pride Month, my Uncle Sam is more out than the Texas power grid. That's 4 weeks in a row, Mike. Texas
I know,
power
you
grid.
just find a way to do that Texas power grid. Someday it'll be funny, Chuck. I have a lot
Right.
of confidence in you.
you know, what's red, white, blue, and a little green?
I don't know, Bruce. What is red, white, blue, and a little green?
Uncle Sam when he's seasick.
Oh,
Yes. Sometimes Uncle Sam is so benevolent, he doesn't take over the whole country.
right.
He just,
Mike, my Uncle Sam is strong.
I bet. How strong?
Well, he's 244 years old and still gets big insurrections.
Oh my God. I caught Uncle Sam with Molly Pitcher one day during the World War.
Right. Searching for the final few Uncle Sam jokes. I combined the two topics, Mike. My Uncle Sam is so patriotic.
Yeah.
He plays the Marine Corps anthem on a Semper Hi-Fi.
Man. Sometimes you just want to watch it, you know. I remember when I was going to a gig once, the first time I was doing stand-up comedy, there was a motorcycle accident that had decapitated the rider, and they had a blanket over the head. in the middle of the street. That's a lot like his jokes, Chuck. You drive by really slow because you have to see it and you want to remember it. Not because it's pleasant, just because it's so weird. So,
Okay,
You know, when Muhammad Ali was asked who hit him the hardest during his boxing career, he
yeah.
replied, "That's easy, Uncle Sam."
Yeah.
Right.
Fucking brilliant.
what did Uncle Sam say to the Indian
Clever.
man?
What did Uncle Sam say to the Indian?
I want you to fix my computer.
And then, of course, this doesn't have anything to do with anything, but I just realized that Gen X was one of Muhammad Ali's daughter. And that would have been funny. I swear to God, that would have been funny. If I hadn't stumbled all over it. See, his Valley Girl daughter. No, you know what? There's no way to make that funny, especially not if you stumble over it.
No,
Chuck, you
I think
win.
that's our prize. I'm not sure who wins the prize this week. I think we should do Sid Bishnu gets the prize this week.
Yeah, this is the part of,
Hey.
Yo, Sid.
part of Uncle Sam's mansion that's above ground. It was
All right, we got you a
crisis.
little 1-bedroom cabin right out there on the plains. So
That's beautiful.
Thank you so much.
enjoy that, and why not?
Of course.
better get you a salad. That's Chef Scapone of the Colorado Comedy Show's virtual event
Hey,
staff, and he sort
Look,
of
Sid.
taunts me with salads.
I'll throw in a
Oh,
good.
wait.
I'll throw
Put
in a
that
good
picture
pizza.
back for a second. Look, Sid. Look, Neil. Look how much land you can see with no people on it.
Can I throw in a good pizza also, Jack?
Yeah, we ought to get you a great pizza. We need that Bruce Lipsky pizza special today. Mike, perhaps you'd like to speak briefly about Magic Moments, a terrific charity that you're involved with.
You know, I'm going to make it really brief. Tomorrow's the first meeting for helping to write the show for this year. It's a theater company in Denver that does all-inclusive shows every year, a musical with ASCAP and BMI registered music. So all the music is really good. Lyrics repurposed in a show and a libretto for a musical show. This year it's going to be called Take the High Road, about a guy who wants to put a big development into an idyllic mountain town and make a resort town out of it. And some of the people don't want it, some of the people do. There's 150 to 200 people in every show, about 50 or 60 of which have special needs. I help to write the show every year, and we didn't get a chance to do the show. We got a week away from doing the show before the pandemic hit, and this is the first show we've been able to do since the beginning of the pandemic. So if you are in or know anybody who's in the Denver area, go to magicmomentsinc.org, find out how you can get tickets to go and see the show. You will not regret it. It's funny, and they find a way to make everybody who's in the show have a meaningful role in it, no matter what your special needs might be, or no matter how professional your skills are. And I'm thrilled to be involved with it. You can also donate at the same magicmomentsinc.org.
Man, way to go, Mike. Thanks for telling us about Magic Moments. I'll be happy to tell you about Elevating Connections. They put on programs for youth who are separated from their siblings by foster care. Myself and the rest of the gang at Colorado Comedy Shows has been working with the Community College of Denver to try and do some career training and help connect the kids to college. So just by talking about them here in the show, we learned about the challenges they have at getting into college and took action. So we're just kicking ass. Dear Comics Bar is going to be at the Factotum Brewhouse July 24th. Mike, we hope to get you there. July 24th, 6 p.m. at a fundraiser and fun beer drinking event with some stand-up comedy and such at the Factotum Brewhouse. We'll be in person, Mike. And
That's great.
if you'd like to listen to the podcast version of this show, go to anchor.fm/Chuck-Roy. And we're also on the Spotify. You can find everything on our link tree. Mike, if a link tree falls in the woods, will anybody hear it?
Not if it's on Anchor FM, they won't.
Right. Thank you. There's our YouTube channel, everybody. Please subscribe and enjoy our terrific show. We have prizes, all kinds of prizes for our VIP customers. Mike, you've got VIP guests. We want to make sure that your friends get some Benjamins right there. Right here's Don't Take Life for Granted.
Oh,
These sweet grants, and
how about the grants?
we got a Coca-Cola truck for our VIP customers. Just in case you want a Coca-Cola, you can virtually have one anywhere you'd like. And
Absolutely.
also got you this. You know, you can wrap yourself up in the American flag, everybody. Enjoy that. And also got you some blueberries and strawberries, all American. So
What goes better with strawberries than?
Gotta have a salad. Gotta have a salad.
Gotta have a
So
salad.
all of our VIP customers want to make sure you get a salad. And our general admission customers, we've got prizes for you as well. There's one, your own moon landing. Enjoy that. Be safe, enjoy a moon landing. Not everybody can get cool shoes like Bruce Lipsky, so we get you these sneakers. Enjoy that, the bowling shoes. And then him, I'm not sure.
Just a little something for Chuck.
Right? He's gotta leave a little something for the bear. And then some bacon. Why not some bacon, everybody? And of course,
Find piles of this all over the street in front of gay bars late on a Saturday night. I don't know what it is.
Oh, bacon.
Right. So we definitely have some bacon. Next week's topics for Make Gladys Laugh. We have the topics so you can work on your jokes, everybody. Next week's topic is knock knock jokes. Who's there, Mike? Our audience. They'll be there.
Yeah, that'll be funny.
We're doing failed rock bands during the round robin. So should be a whole lot of fun. We got lots more jokes in store for you next week, everybody.
Knock, knock, Chuck.
Knock, knock, Mike. Who's there?
David Hasselhoff.
David Hasselhoff, who?
Exactly.
I'm going to need a kit to get that joke.
I beg your pardon?
I'm going to need a kit to get that joke.
Oh, get it? Kit.
See what I did there?
Yeah, I saw what you did there. That was great. If you can tell me who played the voice of Kit, extra points. Didn't think so. All right.
Casey Kasem, wasn't it? Or no?
It was William Daniels. It doesn't matter.
Oh.
This guy, Neil, has been so patient. He's been waiting. He's has no idea why I keep doing all this shit. You know, it's supposed to be a comedy show. The MC is just not funny. Just period. Not funny. Capital N, capital F. Those, by the way, are italic alphabetical symbols. They're not Urdu or Sanskrit or whatever you use over there in that primitive hellhole of a country you live in. What? Who said that? Who said that? They're better than we are in every way. And yet I slap. This is what Uncle Sam does. He makes you think you're better than everybody else when you're not. And then you go and do these things. You offend people all over the world. God damn it. Why do I let myself fall in for this trick every week? Every week, Chuck. I think I should just bring the next act up. What do you think?
Oh, that'd be fun. I think that'd be great.
He's going to enjoy himself now. He can shit all over me, and I can't do a thing about it because I just insulted him and his country. Please welcome Neil Decosta.
Neil.
Hi,
Come on.
my name is Neil Decosta. I'm from India and I'm not here to steal your jobs. Yeah, I'm Catholic, which means 70% of my body is wine. I am also a chemical engineering student, so I can actually turn water into wine. I am also a part-time snake charmer. Like sometimes I tend to charm my friends. You know, being a chemical engineering student, I like every person who's interested in the field of chemistry or any related field, except alchemists. They are professional gold diggers. I do not associate. Good. That reminds me. You know, it's the lockdown has been tough. Like, it's been There's no COVID joke coming up. I've not written a COVID joke because my audience is not large enough to be affected by it. I didn't do that. But yeah, the lockdown has been tough. I think the one profession which has been affected the most by the lockdown is the mining industry. Like I have a friend who's a miner who could not go out and mine because of the lockdown. He lost his job. He lost all his savings. His girlfriend left him because he lost all his savings. That was the first case in history where both the dumper and the dumpy were gold diggers. In church during Mass, they serve bread as the body of Christ, which is totally acceptable because the expiry of bread is 3 days from its manufacture. I have a friend who's Catholic and vegetarian, which does not make sense to me. How can you be Catholic and vegetarian? That guy literally goes to church every Sunday and eats the body of Christ. He can't eat the body of hell. That does not make sense to me. You literally go to church and eat the Son of God. You can't eat the Son of Hen. That's absurd. But a lot of my friends tell me that I shouldn't be doing jokes on religion. But I think it's fine to do jokes on religion. I think because religion is the only thing that is truly universal. I can't think of anything else that's as universal as religion. Except maybe Pitbull. He's Mr. Worldwide. Other than that, I don't know. Pitbull reminds me of my favorite singer. His name is Enrique Iglesias. Yeah, love that guy. Great songs, great performances. Lyrics, not that great. That guy has everything that a perfect song needs to have, except consent. Like, for example, the lyrics to one of his songs is, "Please excuse me, I don't mean to be rude, but tonight I'm fucking you."
Hello.
I'm like, if you don't mean to be rude, the least you could have done is ask. Right? Please excuse me, I don't mean to be rude, but tonight, can I fuck you? It still sounds wrong. But that's real talent. He used please and excuse me in the same sentence and still managed to make it sound horrible without getting cancelled. That's real talent. But yeah, a lot of my friends tell me to not do jokes on religion. They've encouraged me to do family material. Even a lot of my comic friends, they encourage me to do family material. They tell me family material works everywhere. So I started doing family material, and now I'm not sure why I am banned from performing at the orphanage. 2020 was a tragic year. Yeah, it started with the ashes in Australia, like not cricket, the bushfires. Pretty tragic. It was followed by the death of basketball legend Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant was such a legend. Like he was known for never passing the ball. Even if there were 5 defenders on him, he took the shot, and he was so good that he made that shot.
Yeah.
A lot of people mourned his death. A lot of people were very upset because when he got on that helicopter, nobody expected him to pass. Kobe Bryant, a lot of people mourned his death. A lot of people did not because he was accused of sexual assault. But he was accused. We do not know if that is true or not. Although, if it's true, we know that Kobe Bryant did not have an STD. Because if he did, that was the one thing he would pass. STD reminds me of Freddie Mercury, yeah?
Yeah.
Another legend. Another musical legend. Like, can you imagine writing a song called Don't Stop Me Now and then getting stopped by AIDS?
Don't you groan at that. That's hilarious.
Another thing that I am not supposed to joke about apparently is mental health. And I hate the people who tell me not to joke about mental health, because these are the same people who tell you things like, hey, if you have a problem anytime, you can come to me. My door is always open. They always use this phrase, my door is always open. I'm like, if your door is always open, why did you construct a door? You could have just left that open space, an open space. Thank you so much, guys. That was my
Yeah.
I like that last joke particularly. Not just because the joke is funny, and it is, but because he says, if the door is always open, why did you construct the door? Which is it's just that much different than the way an American would say it. That makes me laugh even harder. I love it. I love it. I love it. For one thing, most Americans don't know that construct means build. They just don't. We're just too fucking ignorant. We couldn't find India on a map. 1.3 billion people, probably more by now.
Yeah.
Couldn't find it on a map. And because we're just not that into you, rest of the world.
Over there next to Brazil, right?
You see what I mean? Because it's a comedy show, we're supposed to get away with him thinking he was making a joke there. He wasn't making a joke. He thinks it's next to Brazil. He does. It's next to Madagascar.
Am I warm or is it chilly?
No, you idiot. You're getting colder.
It's
You're getting
freezing.
Chillier.
Right. I thought it was.
It's cold, and it's also another country in South America.
Hmm.
Right there in the name, America. You're not going to find India in anything named America. You understand? Just like you're not going to find a call center in anything called America. I'm just saying, Chuck. You know, Chuck,
Mike,
you're such an amusing fellow.
thank you.
No, you are, and on purpose many times. I'd love to hear some of your insights into the human condition, or as we like to call it in educated circles, la condition humaine.
Oh, wow. Merci.
That's my German.
Merci beaucoup, mon ami. Mike, I went to the Big and Tall store today. I'm back to my original weight.
7 pounds, 10 ounces.
Right. If you've never been to the Big and Tall store, like in high school, I was a big guy. In high school, my pant size was 50W, 30L. If you're in high school and your pant size is also a motor oil viscosity, you're going to the prom with a friend. You also go to a place called the Big and Tall store, which I'm not sure if any of you have ever shopped at the Big and Tall store. It's not in the mall. Fat people are banned from the mall because we block up the aisles or we tie up the food court. I'm not sure why, but we're always out on the strip, past the Home Depot, where there's 4 lanes for us to turn. No cool brand names at the Big and Tall store. You little thin people get all the cool brand names like Gap and Polo and the Abercrombies with their Fitches.
Yeah.
We don't get those cool brand names at the Big and Tall store. We get brand names like Knights of the Round Table. I'm a knight.
Yeah.
I've seen this at the Big and Tall store, a jogging suit in a size 68. 68, Bruce, you're correct. Whoa, is the correct answer to a jogging suit in a size 68. This guy is not going jogging, is what I'm trying to tell you folks.
He said obesity runs in his family. Looks like nobody runs in his family.
Correct. If this guy, like, I don't even know how it got to the Big and Tall store, and you know, if it sells, it's because someone tried it on and just got too tired to take it off. Said, pack up my other stuff. I'm going to wear this out. Now, me, I think this is our job as comedians. When we observe something like a jogging suit in a size 68, it's up to us to do things like what Bruce just did. We're to find the humor in it and sort of explain this to society. So I've done the research, and for a jogging suit in a size 68 to even show up at the store, it means there was a manager who decided to order it, who was looking at an order sheet and said, jogging suit, size 68, we're going to need 2 of those. And they were on the clearance rack. No shit, they were on the clearance rack. As if they were going to be fat guys lined up at the store on delivery day at 9 a.m. going, are the jogging suits in? I got to get to the gym. Now, how does it get manufactured? That's what I like to think about. That means somewhere over in China, there's a factory with a production manager who's barking out orders, going, all right, Hop Sing, you start sewing and head that way. Ming Lu, we're going to need you to start sewing and you head that way. The 2 of you meet in the middle and pant leg number 1 is going to be done.
The old March of the Wooden Soldiers.
You 2 meet in Shanghai. It'll be done.
Right. I'm taking that one, Mike.
You can have that one.
Now, speaking of big news, Mike, there are 3 new bars in my neighborhood, and I've been trying to figure out which ones I'm going to party at now that the COVID is over.
Chuck, are you sure they're bars?
Mike, it turns out Orange Theory is not a bar. I thought it was a place where you could at least get an Orange Julius and vodka, but Orange Theory is a place for people to work out. And same is true, apparently, I guess, Club Pilates is not a gay bar for Spanish pilots.
Oh, no.
And I should have known. I thought when I went in and I saw that machinery, I'm like, what kind of S&M goes on here? And you're right. That's not funny. A lot of my Pilates jokes are a stretch.
No, Chuck.
I got to tell you, Mike, I don't even want to know what goes on at Polk City.
A lot of Pokemon.
Right? I think you're supposed to call it poke, satay. I'm not sure. I don't know how to pronounce things correctly. I enjoyed my weekend. Kids were out celebrating 4th of July, and the kids here in Denver, I live in Colorado, and I don't know about you folks. I'm sure when you go to the park, it's a relaxing activity. That's not the case for the good people of Colorado. When we go to a park, it is a serious effort, and you must bring a variety of games and pack the Subaru full of kids were playing trampoline volleyball. I thought that looked fun, but also a little excessive, like just pick one game at a time. I learned how to play this. Some of the kids were playing hops and scotch, which is you set up a hopscotch board, and then for hops, you're drinking Colorado craft beers. And then for scotch, it was Colorado craft whiskeys. So you take your ice out of your whiskey and you throw it onto the hopscotch. And whatever number you land on, you have to name that many points of the Green New Deal. Just me on that one. Okay. Used to get more laughs with Elizabeth Warren policies, so maybe I'll have to do that.
Yeah,
Mike, I am excited to hear that I'll be teaching again this fall at the Community College of Denver. That's the community college is where I teach. We're the City Hawks. That's our mascot. Some of you are very smart, and you're probably very aware that the City Hawk is not a real animal. A City Hawk happens when an eagle flies down from the mountains and fucks a pigeon. I teach the comedy class, also some show business classes, and word has gotten out, Mike. I'm now going to be teaching a humor comprehension seminar at the Woke Police Academy.
Oh, good for you, man. They need that there.
How'd you cop that gig?
Right, I'm taking that one. All right, I'm out on one Bruce Lipsky joke, everybody. That's my closer. Thank you.
Yeah, the comedy team of
Lipsky and Roy.
Lipsky, ladies and gentlemen. Lipsky and Roy.
Right, I'm not. You're not getting the cut of the gigs.
Seriously, Chuck, are any of your classes virtual classes you teach? Or
I have some old ones that are free and online at Comedy 101, and then later this fall I'll start putting stuff back up for free online at Comedy 101.
His classes at the college though are not.
Yeah, the college class is 3 credits, but my website, just before the pandemic started, I started converting all my classes to free. So comedy101.chuckroy.com. And there's some good ones in there, like from open mics to paid gigs is pointed at new comedians that want to learn how to get hired for their first paid gig. Even there was a moment where we needed to hire at the last minute to replace someone like a Mr. Mike Langworthy, and all of a sudden people from our own open mic were in consideration for their first gig. So
yeah,
I wrote a course just sort of basically pointed at them going, here's what you would have to do to get shifted over to the world of $100.
where are those posted? Where are those posted again?
comedy101.chuckroy.com. I'll try to post that in the chat, and then
Thank you.
There's a lot of good information in there.
Thank you.
Chuck teaches his ass off, man. Well, not literally, as you can tell.
Right. Jesus, that thing is.
Woo! I mean, come on. Are you kidding me?
Not even a 68.
Right. I
His
mean,
ass, years ago, his ass was discovered and claimed for Isabella of Spain. So I'm just saying it's a big ass.
Yeah.
Columbus landed on it. That's what I'm saying.
right.
He walked in his doctor's office, and the doctor said, "Oh, you got the furniture disease. Looks like your chest fell into your drawers."
Hello. Hello. Hey, by the way,
All right.
we had a lovely time entertaining you this evening. Each other, really, if you really get right down to it. But that's Chuck wanted to know a couple of weeks ago if I was interested in doing a show on the July 4th weekend, and I said, why not? And you guys were great, but the turnout was pretty low for comics for us, because we usually are a lot busier than this. And so I'm glad that you guys came.
Let's do a silly photo.
I think we should still do a silly photo. Chuck, what have you got for us for a funny, silly thing to do?
Everybody look up or down.
Up or down.
Yeah, try to be scary, either up or down.
Okay.
So, to the person above you or below you.
Oh.
In the YouTube realm. On a 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome.
There you go. And maybe because we're, light on people today, maybe you don't want to hang around and chat. I don't know. I mean, you Indian guys, the beginning of your day, isn't it?
Yep. I mean, I start my day job in 15 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Then you should.
I usually wake up 5 hours later. So
I'm sorry, what?
I usually wake up 5 hours later.
Wow.
And this? What time is it?
Yeah.
What time is it where you are? If you don't mind my asking.
8:30.
8:30, yeah.
You usually wake up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon?
I sleep pretty late, so.
Yeah. Is it because you're studying so hard in your engineering school, or are you just lazy?
Oh, no, not that much now. Right now, over the lockdown, it's just become a habit.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, even I have like late night open mics, because most of the open mics are at 11, 12 midnight over here in India. So it goes up to 2 or 3 in the morning.
You got to start one yourself.
Yeah, so I sleep post that.
Well, that's awesome. Well, YouTubes, thanks for watching.